Hi there! You're about to listen to a vintage episode of the Under the Microscope podcast. While the content is still as relevant and as interesting as when it was recorded, our webpage has changed. You can now find us at thesciencetalk.com/real-scientist-nano. Welcome to Under the Microscope. This series is brought to you by the Real Scientists Nano team. Our goal is to provide a platform where scientists can communicate their work and interact with the public. With that in mind, every week we introduce you to a scientist working in the field of materials and nanoscience, who would be curating the RealSci_Nano Twitter account. Hi everyone. Today we have with us Yolanda, who is a PhD student at the Autonomous University of Madrid in Spain. Hi Yolanda, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Excited to know more about your science with 2D materials and AFM and all of that. So let's start by understanding your scientific journey so far. So tell us about your career journey so far.
Okay, so my journey in science is almost beginning. I mean, not beginning, but I'm in my PhD now. So what I can tell you is that I studied physics in the Autonomous University of Madrid, and then I did my degree project with STM, scanning tunneling microscopy. And I fell in love with proof microscopes. So after that, I did a master's in condensed matter physics. And during this time, I met the group I'm working with now, and it was a group who work a lot with AFM and 2D materials. So after the masters, I stayed there doing the PhD. I started my PhD with them. And then I went for a short stay to Texas to learn optics with a group in Texas. But then the pandemic started, and after 2 months, I had to come back here and stay close like everyone else. And then, I continue here, and I think I will finish my PhD by next year. But let's see what happens.
I hope you finish your PhD by next year. That would be amazing. Awesome. That sounds like quite a journey you've had. So, Yolanda, you already spoke a little bit about your current research in the short podcast. But where does it fit in this big picture of materials or nanoscience? Because materials and nanoscience is quite a broad topic or quite a broad research area, so to say. So where does your work fit in this big puzzle?
Yeah, so, I think that I study specifically nanomaterials. So, yeah, I study the properties of the two-dimensional materials at the nanoscale, and I try to see if the equations that we have at the macro scale still work with those nanomaterials, and try to learn about their properties.
Okay, all right. So you work with nanomaterials, the two-dimensional nanomaterials. So it's an obvious thing that you fit in, and you study their surface and interactions and stuff. All right, that sounds cool. So, I mean, we did speak a little bit about the Scotch tape and like the separation of the 2D materials and atomically thin nanomaterials and stuff. So it sounds to me that you have been involved with a lot of interesting research projects so far. So if you have to pick one research project that you're most proud of, I know it's difficult because I'm sure you like all your experiments, all your projects. Well, most of your experiments, most of your projects, let me put it that way. But if you have to pick one that you're most proud of, could you do that and explain it to us in simple words in the section we call In Other Words?
So one work that I liked a lot to do is study the toughness of MOS2 nanodrums.
Mm-hmm.
So the nanodrums are like a drum, but very small. So you have a surface with
Mm-hmm.
a nanometric circular hole,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put on it some very thin material, one layer of some material, and then you have a drum to play music for bacteria, for
What?
example.
What? What?
Music
What?
for
Wait. What?
bacteria,
What? You're
like
playing music for bacteria with nanodrums. So what's going on here? What's happening?
there is just a joke, like bacteria play music with very small instrument.
That sounds. How does that work? Like, what? Okay, I need to know more, please.
No, they don't. So yeah, it was just a joke. So yeah, those are very tiny drums, and then what I do is to put them inside the AFM and approach the tip, and then with tips of different sizes, I push in the center of the drum,
Mhm.
and they break. The drums break, of
Of
course.
course.
Yeah, they break, and then depending of the crystallinity of the material, when
Mhm.
you break them, the fracture expands a lot,
Mhm.
or just stays a very tiny fracture right under the tip.
Right.
So it is well known in the macroscopic world, world that if you break some crystal, when it breaks catastrophically.
Mhm.
And when you break something amorphous, it only breaks on a small part.
Mhm.
So in this work, we saw that it happens too in the nanomaterials, that when you break a very crystalline layer, it breaks catastrophically and the layer is completely broken. But when
Mhm.
there are defects, the layer remains almost untouched, but for the small part right under the tip.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Wow. So this is your current project, or was this in the past that you have done this work?
Yeah, it's done.
It's done.
Oh, done. I mean, as done as you can be in science. But yeah,
Okay.
it's something that I'm not working now, right?
Hmm.
Right.
But you worked on in the past. Wow. I can imagine why you picked this one as the most, let's say, one of the most proud of research projects of yours. I like the part of bacteria playing with nanodrums or playing music for bacteria with nanodrums. Right? Is that what that was it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So, Yolanda, it sounds to me that you definitely enjoy the research aspect of being a scientist, but there is more to you or to your day-to-day life as being a scientist than just going in the lab, doing the experiments, and analyzing the data and all of that. So, what else do you like about being a scientist?
Well, I like a lot meeting different people in the lab or in other labs
Mm-hmm.
that they can teach you a lot about science, but they also do some very different things outside the labs. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I think that you can meet very interesting people uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
working here or in related areas. And
Right. You like that? Okay. All right. That sounds amazing. You're absolutely right. There are a lot of interesting people in science, and in their non-science life or their real life, they're also doing other really cool stuff. I can relate to that totally. So, Yolanda, what advice would you give to researchers? I mean, you did mention that you're also just starting out. I think you have quite a bit of experience. I mean, come on. But if there was a student, let's say, who is starting out their research life today, what advice would you give them?
Well, I recommend them to be patient, very patient,
Mm-hmm.
and not suspect things work at the first time or the second or the third.
Oh my God, damn it! They don't. They don't
No.
work the first 5 times. Oh God.
and also to find an advisor who's comprehensive and sympathetic. I think it helps a lot at the beginning because you may be a bit frustrated if you are not very patient, and they can help you with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so be patient and know that things don't work the first time, or
Yes.
the second or the third time. That's really good, practical piece of advice, I must say. Thank you for that. Yolanda, I hope your research experience, at least it sounds to me that your experience so far in science has been wonderful, and I hope it will continue to be wonderful in the future as well. However, if you had 3 wishes to improve your research experience, what would you ask for? And I'm not promising anything here, okay?
Okay, well, I asked for days with 26 hours.
26 hours.
First of all,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, more time is always welcome.
Okay, that's your first wish. 26. But why stop at 26? Why not go with 36 hours in a day while
Well,
we're talking?
let let's make it slow.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. You're being reasonable with your wishes. Okay. Okay,
yeah.
got it. Got it. Okay.
Mm, I think it would help to make the the career in science a bit more predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what can I do after my PhD or after the postdoc or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
having a bit more.
Certainty.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. That's second wish. Okay. More certainty. Absolutely understandable. All right. Last and third. Be you don't have to stop yourself. You don't have to be reasonable, with the wishes. So you can ask for anything.
Yeah. Well, the third one is being able to exfoliate and prepare samples super fast and super good samples.
You're very practical about these things.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Okay. And once you exfoliate once, you get the nanomaterial of the shape that you want, the thickness that you want. That's the wish, right?
Yes, I want mm, layers, single layers of graphene of many tens of microns length. Something.
In one exfoliation.
Yes.
Very reasonable. What are you talking about? This is absolutely reasonable. It's totally doable. I no, it's
Yeah.
not. No, it's not. No. I no, it's not. No, it's not. It's extremely taxing and annoying to keep exfoliating. So yeah, all 3 wishes of yours, I hope they come true. I hope you get 36 hours instead of 26 hours, and also with the certainty of the career. I think that's very very important. On a serious note. Um, and third wish also very, very practical with being able to exfoliate on the first go. I hope all 3 wishes of yours come true. Yolanda, this has been fun, really fun talking to you. But before I let you go, one thing that I have to ask you. The year 2020 and also the 2021, now that we are living through challenging times. So what are your learnings from these times?
Mm, well, I think that related to my work, I learned that I cannot concentrate at home.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a huge problem for me. For
Mm-hmm.
I just start doing anything else. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. I don't know, that plans can change, and well, nothing happens. Well, nothing happens. Well, something happens, but you can change your plans and still be good. And yeah, I think that's like a whole thing from 2020 and 2021.
Okay, all right. So be flexible, basically. And Yolanda can't work from home, so let her come in the lab and let her do the experiment. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for speaking with me, Yolanda. This has been lovely, and looking forward to having you on Real Scientist Nano.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. To know more about us, please visit our website realscientistsnano.org and follow us on Twitter at realsci_nano.